Baseball, it has been said, is a game built on failure. And what makes it so compelling is the eventual opportunity for redemption. Last night, Giovanni Urshela made up for a base-running mistake in the 10th with a game-winning homer in the 12th to send the Indians home with a late-night victory. Carlos Carrasco was absolutely dominant for 9 one-hit innings. And Danny Salazar will try to duplicate that effort next on Sports Time Ohio. It is a warm, sunny afternoon in Southern California as the Cleveland Indians wrap up this West Coast swing with the finale of a 3-game series against the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Indians got a big win last night, late 12th inning. Giovanni Urshela comes up with a big home run. One thing we know in baseball you can't teach, and that is clutch. You either are or you are not, and Gio obviously proved last night he has a little bit of that in him.
Well, it was awfully nice to see because the Indians needed a run, but he made a mistake in the 10th inning where he runs to third base. He is thrown out, takes a scoring opportunity away, but then he puts 2 on the board with 1 swing of the bat on a breaking ball into the night, and they needed it. Boy, they needed that extra inning win. But you look at his season, 2 homers and 9 ribbies from the 7th inning on out of his numbers this year. That is clutch. That's what you pay for. That's what you want to see. When the game is close and it is late, you get the clutch hit. He did that last night, and hopefully he can continue to do that.
You can't say enough about the Indians starting pitching. It continues to excel. Carlos Carrasco was flat-out dominant last night, and now Danny Salazar gets a chance to follow him.
Well, the best game of the year, I think, for Carrasco last night. Salazar coming off one of his best games, 8 one-hit innings against Oakland. He had an explosive fastball, a good changeup, and I think these Angel hitters are going to want to see the Indians get out of town because the 3 right-handers they face in this series can be very dominant. You can see Salazar 9-6 on the year. He's going to be facing left-hander Hector Santiago, who's 3-1 at home. He's pitched better this year, but the left-hander going against the Tribe, and whoever wins this game will win the series.
Interesting lineup for the Cleveland Indians this afternoon. We'll show that to you when we come back with today's first pitch between the Tribe and the Angels here in Anaheim. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by W.B. Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. By your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud sponsors of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. by Urshela in the 10th. Urshela launches one deep left field to Jesus looking. It's gone to Souvenir City. His 4th home run of the season, and oh baby, did that make up for the base running gap. Well, we'll see what the Indians can do for an encore after a thrilling win in 12 innings last night. Tremendous pitching on both sides. And now an afternoon affair here in Southern California. On the hill for the Angels is Hector Santiago, the left-hander. Tribe well familiar with him after his days in Chicago. Here's Jerry Francona's starting lineup, brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Jose Ramirez leading it off, then it's Francisco Lindor. Jerry Sands moves up to the number 3 spot. He's in right field. Santana bats cleanup. Ryan Rayburn getting his first action in more than a week will bat 5th in DH. Urshela is 6th. Roberto Perez is catching, batting 7th. Mike Aviles is in left field, hitting 8th. And Tyler Holt starts in center, batting 9th.
And Hector Santiago is our Northern Ohio Honda dealer's starting pitcher, making his 21st start of the season, his 13th start at home here. He's pitched very well at home. He was an all-star this year, did not pitch in the game, his first all-star selection. And Santiago, a guy we know from the White Sox. Let's set the defense behind him this afternoon, brought to you by Jeep. It's going to be Murphy in left, Trout in center, Calhoun in right, Gillespie at third, Ibar at short, Giavitello at second, Crone is at first, Iannetta doing the catching.
Pat Hoberg has the plate this afternoon. Chris Guccione at first, Corey Blazer at second, the crew chief Jeff Nelson down to third. We are ready to go, and we're underway as Jose Ramirez looks at a ball down low. Ramirez is only 1 for 7 in the series, but Ricky's drawn 4 walks. So he's at least tried to work the count out of that leadoff spot. He's been able to get on base a few times.
Yeah, I mean, both games started the game off with a walk. You would think they'd go right at him, you know, and make him hit his way on, but they haven't to this point. He's ahead in the count here.
And he misses low. 3 balls, no strikes.
Could it be 3 in a row?
Catches the plate for a strike and runs the count full. Ramirez stays alive.
Boy, a left-handed catch by a fan with no glove. The first hitter of the game. They are ready.
Again, the payoff. Ball 4. So once again, Ramirez starts the game off with a free pass. Our window system's game time temperature 86 degrees under sunny skies, a few clouds overhead, not much to speak of. Ball should jump on a warm afternoon here today. Francisco Lindor was 1 for 8 in this series, but he's driven in 7 over his last 9 games. C.J. Crone over there at first base. He got the start in the first game of this series. Last night, Albert Pujols was at first. Tonight, or this afternoon, Pujols will DH, so Crone back in there defensively. Lindor bunts it up the first base line, but it's going to dribble foul. In the first game of this series, Lindor laid down a sacrifice bunt, moving Ramirez into scoring position. Last night, Ramirez was thrown out trying to steal. I don't know if Mike Soch is asking home plate umpire Pat Hoberg if Lindor was out of the box and maybe the ball hit him. Is he looking for a replay challenge here?
I don't know, but he is waiting for something. I don't know what it could be. take a look at it if that's what he's questioning. He's in the batter's box. Now he's out. I don't see the ball hitting him at all.
The only other thing, Rick, I thought was Scioscia maybe questioning, did the bat, when Lindor threw the bat, did the bat hit the ball while it was in play? I don't know. Didn't appear that anything was at issue. Runner goes and Lindor fouls it off.
Little hit and run action there. I don't know what the heck they're looking at.
Two strikes. Ramirez at first, held by Crone. Two-strike pitch. Missed inside. Lifts one. Right field near the line. Going to be a tough play. Cole Calhoun can't get there. On his way to third is Ramirez, and the throw is offline.
Well, Ramirez read it beautifully. That ball couldn't have been thrown out there any better. Perfectly placed, Lindor. I could see Calhoun. He was deep. He wasn't going to get there. Here's Ramirez taking a good peek, and he realizes nobody's going to get there, so he can take off now and get us to third base. Calhoun comes up with the throw offline. So the Indians with a good start. First and third, nobody out.
Well, Jerry Sands is going to get the first opportunity to drive in a run now for Cleveland. Sands is 2 for 11 since getting called up. But he's in a big spot here. And he takes a strike.
This is where Santiago gets tough with runners in scoring position. He's held opponents to a 167 batting average this year. And this is where the Indians have struggled, so we'll see what gives.
Back-to-back strikes, throw to first, they got him.
Oh boy.
Lindor is caught napping at first base. And that is out number one.
Well, that's a heads up by Iannetta. And I mean, your secondary lead, let's look at it. And he's trying to get back in there, and it's a good snap throw on target to get the out. It was a strike, so now Sands is down 0-2. That's a really good play by Iannetta. And maybe a little too aggressive by Lindor early in the ball game. First and third, nobody out. You let him hit.
Now the infield in, and the pitch is down and in.
Yeah, you get that first out. Now you bring it in and give your guy an opportunity.
Sands has struck out, 2 down. That's at least the second time, Rick, that I can recall Lindor getting picked at first base by the catcher.
Third time.
Third?
Yeah. Well, he runs the ball inside. He started them off away when it was first and third, maybe looking for a double play ball, and then he just throws a fastball by him. So now 2 outs and an opportunity to get out of this inning, which would got to make him feel real good if he can do it.
Santana takes a strike. back towards us, just to the upper deck. The 0-2 offering. Missed outside. Slug to left, high in the sky. Murphy under it, makes the catch. Indians get 2 aboard to start the frame. Do not score. The Angels are coming to bat. Angels starting lineup for Mike Scioscia, brought to you by Toyota. Johnny Giavitello leading it off. Cole Calhoun bats second. Mike Trout hitting third, is 1 out of 7 in the series. Albert Pujols, David Murphy, and Eric Ibar in the middle. Then it's Connor Gillespie, C.J. Cron, and Chris Iannetta.
Danny Salazar, Northern Ohio Honda dealer starting pitcher, making his 20th start. Picked up his 9th win in his last start, a 2-1 victory over the Oakland A's. And pitched a gem, 8 innings. Just 1 hit, retired the final 18, and he was looking to become the 4th Indian starter in a row to have a complete game, and he missed it by 3 outs, but believe me, he probably could have.
First pitch is a little bit outside, ball 1. One pitch, up high with it.
Let's see if Danny Salazar can do what Carrasco did last night, or take just something away from it and just pound that strike zone down.
Out of play. Now, Carlos Carrasco last night was at a different level. David Murphy said after the ball game You know, I remember when I had faced him before and seeing his fastball a little bit longer. But he said last night his fastball just jumped. And he said obviously he had great velocity, good movement on it. He goes, I didn't see the slider, but that split change he was throwing was pretty nasty too.
Hey, well, we noticed it right from the very first inning that he was throwing it at 96, 97. Special night, and it was late movement. And, you know, talking to Mark Gubiza, who does their television for the Angels, who was a very good pitcher in his own right, said that was the best game that has been pitched against the Angels this year. And it was dominating. Could have very well had a no-hitter. And Murphy's the one that got the hit.
Yeah.
And he got it on a fastball, 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
Well, as Murph said afterwards, he goes, I can't believe his ERA is 4.03 to be exact going into last night.
Well, he got on a roll the second half of last year. Maybe he's trying to do that again after the break. He's been good. On this trip, he's been outstanding. 18 innings of work and just 3 hits.
Off-speed pitch missed. Cole Calhoun has had good success against Cleveland pitching with a .364 average, but in this series, just 2 for 9, 5 strikeouts, 4 in a row to end last night's game. That'll even the count of 2-2.
Calhoun had a tough night last night. 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts.
Ground ball to second. And Ramirez will throw him out. 2 down. Let's get on to Andre Nadu as more on Danny Salazar.
Yes, Danny Salazar said 2 things today. He has to come out and be ready. Last 2 starts, he's been a little, no, not loose when he first came out. Second thing is he looks forward to matchups against Mike Trout as well as Albert Pujols. I asked him how he's done against them. He goes, they've both been 1 for 3. They haven't hit it hard. He says, look, I'm going to read what the game plan is, and I'll watch what Cookie Carrasco does. He goes, but I got to take care of me before I worry about trying to get these guys out because they're too good to make mistakes against early in the ball game.
Well, you know, this is the first time we played the Angels. They don't really have a history or a book against a lot of these guys, so you know, it does take a while. I think the pitchers have the advantage when you don't have a track record against a guy. It takes a time at least in the batter's box to see his arm angle, where it's coming from, what it does.
Strike 3 call. Danny Salazar with a dart to the outside corner, and Mike Trout is rung up to end the first. No score after 1.
15 with MLB.com at bat on your smartphone or tablet. You can stay connected with live radio broadcast, stats, breaking news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball.
Second inning, Ryan Rayburn taking a called strike. Rayburn had a pinch hit appearance last night. Otherwise, he hasn't played since before the Indians left on this road trip. Pops one into center field. One down. Keys to the game brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Win, chance for a winning road trip. Salazar, keep it down in the zone. That's what made Carrasco so effective last night.
Boy, I don't think he made one mistake up in the zone. That's one of the better pitch games of the year, without question.
Giovanni Urshela. Pops this one sky high, shallow center.
They're trying to hit it into the sun.
Ibar went all the way out there to make the play. Looked like Trout was just kind of watching him, saying, "Well,
yeah, you
take
it. I had the last one."
If you can make it, go ahead.
That is this could be a very high sky, tough sun field. But Ibar's calling for it, so Trout says, "All right, you want it? You got it." Normally we play 4 o'clock games here on getaway day, but today it's a 12:30 start, so it may be a little tougher for the outfielders in another hour.
Roberto Perez. Takes a strike.
Santiago 2-1 in his career against the Indians in 5 starts. Has 5 relief appearances as well, a save.
I mean, 3 straight pitches were identical. And he watched all 3 of them go by. Second strikeout for Santiago. Indians go in order. No score, middle of the second.
All right, welcome back. Second inning, bottom half. Let's check out the Indians defense, brought to you by Jeep. Aviles in left, Holton center, Sands over and right, Urshela at third, Lindor at short, Ramirez is at second, Santana at first, Perez catching.
Albert Pujols will lead it off for the Angels. Indians shift 3 on the left side. And the outfield deep. High ball 1. 30 home runs already for Albert Pujols. 32 for his teammate Mike Trout. Right back to the screen. Think about that. Trout and Pujols have combined for 62 home runs. The Indians' entire roster combined for 86. Swung out and missed. Salazar went up the ladder, and Pujols strikes out. 1 away.
Yeah, that's where Danny can be that's where he can be effective. When you get to 2 strikes against guys like that, you elevate the fastball. He started, that was just a hair high. Then he throws that little 2-seamer for a strike. He fouls one off, another fastball. There was something off speed, and then he just, see you later. Rides that fastball. He didn't swing at the first one because he was taken all the way, but he did swing when he got the 2 strikes.
David Murphy takes a strike. Wow, that was wicked, wasn't it?
Yeah, good, nice fastball. Give me over curveball. Now I'm down to the count 0-2, and what do I look for?
How about another high heater?
Yeah, that's beautiful. What a great sequence that was, too.
3 in a row for Salazar, 2 down here in the second.
It's going to be our Circle K strikeout. We're going to do this early, boy, because there's Salazar. Got ahead of him, strike 1, curveball, strike 2, high fastball, see you later.
Now Eric Ibar. Salazar is working quickly.
Yes,
too.
I like
good
that.
Tempo.
I like that. I noticed it this inning. He got it. He's getting the baseball, and let's go. Staying on the rubber, you can certainly tell, can't you?
Ibar fouls one back quickly. 0-2 the count. Yeah, the only pause for Salazar is when a guy fouls the ball out of play and he has to get a new one. Otherwise, he's getting it. He's slinging it. Ibar 1 for 8 in the series. But he has been a tough out at times because he can handle the bat, so he'll spoil some really good pitches.
Last night in his first at-bat against Carrasco, you remember he fouled off 4 or 5 very tough pitches before Carrasco could get him to fly to center.
And the next time up, he never touched the ball.
See you later, 3 pitches.
High pop. Urshela over. Oh, he had it, but it dropped it. He had it in his glove and it just popped out. I think he was having a tough time, though, fighting the sun.
Well, he wanted to see where he was located on the field, and then he had his glove up there. You see, he peeks where the stands are, and there's the shading the sun. And then he realized, okay, I've got time, but he wasn't quite sure where he was located. I don't know if they gave him a no play or they gave him an error, but that's not an easy play looking up into the sun.
Tries to pull it, gets it by the mound. Ramirez in the underhand flip just in time. And the Angels go in order. Danny Salazar strikes out a pair here in the second, and we are scoreless through 2.
Host Torrey Hunter and the Minnesota Twins. When we return home, fans can enjoy $1 Dogs, $2 beer pregame in the right field district, and the annual Rock and Blast fireworks show. Get your tickets at Indians.com.
Mike Avila's going to lead off here for the Tribe in the 3rd inning. And Santiago's pitch is outside for ball 1. Avila's getting the start today in left field as Michael Brantley gets the day off. Both Brantley and Michael Bourne out of the lineup for the finale. Foul right back. Aviles, then Tyler Holt and Jose Ramirez due for Cleveland here in the 3rd. Two balls, 2 strikes. And Aviles is out number 1. 3rd K for Santiago. Take a look at our Kia in the driver's seat. Active managerial wins. Mike Scioscia, number 2. Terry Francona, number 4. Bruce Bochy's bunch is only 2 games out of first in the NL West behind the Dodgers. Mike Scioscia's gang 3 back at Houston in the AL West. Tyler Holt tries to bunt. It's foul. There have been a lot of surprises this year in Major League Baseball. I mean, you just take the Houston Astros, for example. No one saw that coming. Houston leading the West into the month of August. Popped him up on the infield. Giavitello and Crone converge. Crone takes it 2 down. I don't think anybody saw Minnesota coming. Twins are right there, fighting for a wild card spot in second place in the AL Central. But I tell you what, Rick, I don't know if there's been a bigger surprise in terms of just sheer, wait, what? Than Dave Dombrowski out as general manager in Detroit.
I would agree.
I mean, abruptly.
Right.
There were no rumors, no hints. All of a sudden, you pick up the paper. Dave Dombrowski's out.
Done. Right.
What a tremendous job he did as general manager in Detroit. People forget when he took over, they had lost 100 games his first year, first or second year. I think they lost 116 or whatever it was. 3 years later, they're in the World Series. So he did an outstanding job with that franchise, getting them back to the top. And he may have his pick of openings in the offseason.
There is a few. There's an opening right here in Anaheim.
Right at
us. That a boy.
Oh, nice job, Jimmy.
Jimmy, that a boy. See, he comes in today. Beautiful. Yes, indeed.
Now, there's a look at what happened in Detroit with Dave Dombrowski taking over in 2002. Before that, he was with the Marlins. The guy's flat out been a winner. And obviously there will be. It was interesting. One of the things I read about, he may have been looking for a raise. And there was
there he is.
There he is. There's
John's
the man
son
right
Jimmy,
there.
his first game up in the
Nice
booth
job.
working. He catches a foul ball.
Use 2 hands. Perfect.
Well done, my friend. Much better than your dad.
Dad was like.
Yeah, Dad had his neck brace on the last time we got a foul ball, and he almost fell over.
Just missed low.
He was walking off the mound there, wasn't he, on that ball down and in.
Now the payoff pitch to left field. David Murphy will make the catch. 1, 2, 3 go the Indians. No score, middle of the third. Game from Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Bottom third of the Angels lineup due up here in the third. Connor Gillespie, C.J. Crone, and Chris Iannetta. Connor Gillespie with 1 hit in the series, but boy, was it a big one in the series opener.
Yes, it was.
Put the Angels ahead to stay against Corey Kluber and the Tribe as they took the opener, snapping a 6-game losing streak for the Angels. Baseball's a funny game in the way that momentum is perceived. 1-2 pitch, drilled to center. Holt broke in, now over, makes the catch. You think about a 6-game losing streak. The sky is falling. The season is in peril. They lost 8 out of 9. They won. They beat Corey Kluber in the process. The next day, the reports were all is right with the world. They're back on track. They just went through a tough stretch. Now they're ready to get on a roll. They lose last night, only get 2 hits in 12 innings. Today, once again, the season is in peril. They can't hit. They can't score.
Part of that problem was they went to Houston and they lost 3 games, and that's who, they were leading the division. Houston came back and retook first place. But the good thing is that Houston was beaten twice by Texas down there in the last couple of days, so they didn't lose any game last night, even though they only had 2 hits.
C.J. Cron takes a strike.
It comes down to where you're going to end up having to play very well in your division, because the last month you're stuck in your division. You're going to have an opportunity to play against the guys you're chasing or that are chasing you.
Yeah.
And the Angels are 28-23 in their own division. Houston, better record, 27-19.
Houston comes here to Anaheim for a 3-game weekend series, September 11th, 12th, and 13th. And then the Angels will go to Houston for 3 games, September 21st, 22nd, and 23rd.
So you've got them for 6 more times.
Very important ball games. Just missed outside.
People are looking at Texas. They finally got back around the 500 mark.
He did not go, says first base umpire Chris Guccione. That was right on the borderline.
The Rangers, now that they get Cole Hamels, they did get back to the 500 mark, and they're only 6 games out of first place. So, they're going to have something to say in the division.
Yep. Ball 4. First Angel reaches on a walk here with 1 out in the 3rd. Our great clip of the game last night, Carlos Carrasco.
Boy, you could watch this all night long, because you'll see pitches going down, in, out. The changeup, the slider, a vicious slider going straight down, command of the fastball, a lot of swings and misses. Again, and he's going deeper into the ball game because he's pitching to contact. He's getting outs on 3 pitches or less. We gave the pitch count. What do you have? 3 innings where he had 8 pitches or something like that. He was.
He had 3 8s and 2 17s. I remember. At one point.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, think about it. You have 3 innings. That's 24 pitches, and you're a third of the way through the game. What happened here?
Ionette on that swing. Something happened. Swing and miss. I don't know if it was a wrist.
Well, his top hand comes off the bat. I don't know if
looking at his left wrist.
His bottom hand, maybe a thumb or something. Now these catchers, they're tough, but when maybe something pops in your hand.
Stat of the game brought to you by Buick. Carlos Carrasco in his last 2, 18 innings, 3 hits, given up just 1 run, 14 strikeouts.
I love the ground ball outs that come early. I mean, this is a day now where pitchers just don't pitch complete games anymore.
Right.
And he's been on a roll, and he's getting a feel, and he's going deeper and deeper. He's been fun to watch.
Ionetta checked on a ball inside. It's called a strike, 0-2.
Yeah. Well, if we see he's got a bad thumb or a bad hand because of the last swing, let's go inside and bury it on him so he can't use those hands. That's a great pitch. Don't give him any swinging room.
He just blew it right by him. 2 down, 4th strikeout for Carrasco, and we roll it over to the top of the lineup. Here's Andre with more on Carrasco.
You know, the amazing thing, guys, is one small adjustment can make all the difference. If you remember that start against the White Sox that Carlos Carrasco had, and he says something wasn't right. They went back and looked at video at Mickey Callaway, and he didn't have his lead arm in front of him as high as he used to have it. It's helping him leverage now and come down with the ball. So that two-seamer, instead of being flat in the strike zone and kind of veering off right or left, is diving down in the strike zone, and that's what we've seen these last 2 starts, guys.
Boy, isn't that's well, then if that's the adjustment to keep it down in the zone, he was nothing but down in the zone last night. So maybe other pitchers should think about that. Get that front arm up a little bit. You stay on top of the baseball, leverage it down.
It's something that I think everybody who's ever played a game of catch in their life, you never think about it, you just do it. And then all of a sudden you become a pitcher and everything gets magnified and you start talking about that front arm. And some guys, with that front arm, if it comes sideways, they don't get through it and throw the ball downhill. Everything stays flat, and that's when they get hit around and in trouble.
Well, you talk about repeating your delivery, and sometimes you can get out of whack mechanically. That's a nice stop there by Perez. You know, that's the one thing. You may not feel yourself doing it when you're out there. You can't correct it. You need somebody else, maybe your pitching coach, or it's nice to go out there and have someone tell you, and then when you correct it, it works. It's something very, just a little tinker.
The 2-1. Hit down the right side and out of play. And I'm sure there have been countless times over the years where pitching coaches have gone to the mound, and there might not be anything discernible that they can tell from the dugout, but they know something's got to change, so they'll just say, might be something as simple as, hey, make sure your lead arm is, you're getting it down or getting it through. And if that's all it takes, it could be just that little psychological edge that pitcher needs. Okay, that's what's wrong. And then he takes off again. Because there are days where you might be throwing the ball well and the other guys just have your number. But that's when the psychological becomes important, where a pitching coach can make all the difference in the world. Say, hey, there's just one little thing I noticed. It might not be anything, but if you think it is, then that could be all you need.
There could be a pitching coach go out there and tell you nothing. Hey, you know what? Let's just hurry up and get this guy out. You're better than he is. Let's go. And then walk off. It may be nothing, he says.
Yeah, sometimes it's a moment of levity that matters too.
And you know what? Also, when you're a player and you have the starting staff that the Indians have, we show you how they sit and they stand and they talk to one another. He could say, "Hey, Carlos, I want you to watch me today. Watch my front shoulder. Watch this." And they could be talking amongst themselves when they come back in between innings. There's nothing wrong with that, having your other teammates watch you.
Well, Salazar is overpowering the Angels, but they're making him throw more pitches than he'd like. That's about the only problem for him so far.
Well, he's been all over the place, in and out, and he's fouled them off.
Now full count. Cron will be off at first. And another foul ball. This will be the 10th pitch of the at-bat. Another foul ball.
Oh boy, they're saying, let's go. Will you put it in play, please? This is he is really having a great at-bat, making Danny work.
This goes back to what we just talked about, though. He's made, this will be the 11th pitch of the at-bat. Carrasco had 2 innings last night where he made 8 pitches and got 3 outs. You can be dominant and overpowering and all that stuff, but the efficiency still matters if you're going to try to get deep into a game.
Yes, it does. Seeing him fouled off.
Finally puts one in play. The inning is over. Through 3. No score in Anaheim.
Show of the year that'll take place Friday and Saturday. It's the Indians' annual Rockin' Blast. It'll be the 10th anniversary of Rockin' Blast, so get your tickets at Indians.com.
Francisco Lindor going to lead it off for the Tribe here in the 4th. He singled his only time up. Pops this one high, foul ground. Gillespie and Ibar.
They can't see
Gillespie
it.
Can't find it. It's in the dugout.
Yeah, you see right now that third baseman that we saw Urshela scuffle and drop a ball.
Now we know how tough that play was for Urshela because Gillespie never saw it.
He had no clue. He's blocking the sun, and he thinks he's got a beat on it. He's continuing to look for the baseball. And then he realizes, oh, there it is. It's in the dugout. Look at it. He had no clue.
No idea.
And he has no glasses on either.
I wonder if Ibar had a better beat on where it was. He was behind him, kind of tracking it over there.
Well, I'll tell you, you know when you're out there and you're looking in, every fielder's got to pick everybody up. You go after it like you know the guy doesn't see it, just to help him out.
Rick, would this be the closest thing we see during the regular season to a spring training sky?
Probably, yeah. That's a good way of putting it. The western sky. It's high. It's got some wispy clouds up there today, but still that sun sometimes in California, you just can't see.
This is going to work out well for Lindor. Down the line it goes. He's going to turn and burn for 2. The throw, not in time. Lindor is 2 for 2 on the afternoon, a single and now a hustle double.
Well, and they really had a shift going on for Francisco, and he beats Crone down the line. He was way off the bag, and that pitches away, and look at him just slap it that way. That's a really good job of hitting. You can see how far off the line he was, and he couldn't get there. So Lindor hustles into second base, his 7th double, and he has the only 2 hits in the ball game. He set up the first inning with a base hit, made it 1st and 3rd. Now the 2nd inning, a leadoff double.
Jerry Sands going to try to get him over at the very least. See if Santana can get him home. Or he might take care of himself with a base hit. But this is where we talked about it last night in low-scoring games. You have to execute. Now, I'm not suggesting that Jerry's going to lay down a bunt here.
No. No way. 3rd, 4th inning.
Somehow, some way, he's got to get him to 3rd.
This is where, as I said earlier, Santiago, a 167 batting average with runners in scoring position. But you have to find ways to get him over, get him in. Especially when you're going through the middle part of your lineup.
Up and away. It's 2-0. Up and away again, 3-0. I don't know, Santiago's just trying to make Sands roll over on one, so he's trying to pitch him away.
Well, he could do that, but what he's doing, he's falling behind him, and now I'd give him the green light here. Look for a fastball to your liking. See, that may be the best pitch he gets in the at-bat. There's the fastball right there. Nowadays, more and more managers are doing that. You get a 3-0 count. I don't care what the guy's hitting. Sometimes you figure that 3-0 pitch just might be the best one you're going to get. See if he comes back. He's been throwing a lot of cutters down and in and off-speed pitches. I know last night that happened a lot with Shoemaker. He was behind in the count, 2-0. He's throwing change-ups.
Full count. Threw it right by him. He just reared back with 3 straight fastballs and he strikes him out.
Boy, you talk about coming back down in the count 3-0 and then comes back with 3 straight strikes, and that was pretty much like the first at bat. He just came back and threw a fastball by him. You can't let a fastball beat you. Not in this situation.
Now Carlos Santana, who flied to left his only time up. Now Santana, they play to pull the ball on the left side of the infield. Ibar's pulled around. Sands, they were playing him more the other way.
Well, Sands tries to shoot the ball that way as a right-handed hitter. That's why he doesn't catch up to the fastball. Santana, a dead pull hitter, and he's going to try and pull everything, but he won't get the fastball. He'll get the off-speed stuff.
Well, he got the fastball, but he swung through it, or maybe it wasn't a strike as he takes a walk. Ball, 1 strike.
So far, Santiago, 1 strikeout in each inning in this ball game.
2-to-1 ratio, 36 strikes, 18 balls. Popped him up on the infield. Throwing the first baseman. Makes the catch. 2 down.
Everyone is an adventure. And for whatever reason, boy, the Indians have hit about 4 balls that are about that high today.
Let's go down to Andre Knott. Hey, Andre, what's up with Rayburn not starting the game, I think, since July 26th?
Yeah, he was dealing with some stomach issues. The last game he did start, he had to leave in about the 6th inning after he made a throw in from left field. He went to the doctor. He's lost 7 pounds since that last start, guys. I got to get on the same diet as he, even though he told me he doesn't feel good. But he says, he's been dealing with his arm being a little cranky and his stomach's been bothering him. But he was ready to get back in the lineup. He says he couldn't wait to get back out there today. And he was a little antsy, to be honest. He says he doesn't like going this long without swinging the bat. So hopefully we'll see him more. But between sickness and a little bit of hurt in that arm, it's been some of the reasons we haven't seen him over the last few days.
And how about left-handers, too? We haven't seen a lot of lefties.
Yeah, we haven't seen lefties either. So it's been a tough go for Ryan.
Well, he's going to try to deliver with 2 outs here. So far, it's just been a simple case of lack of execution. The Indians started this game with a walk by Jose Ramirez. Lindor singled, 1st and 3rd, nobody out. Lindor got picked off by the catcher, Chris Iannetta.
That was a mistake.
Then Jerry Sands struck out, and Santana flied out. They didn't score in the 1st. Now you get a leadoff double here in the 4th by Lindor. Sands strikes out. Santana pops one up on the infield.
And he's pitching around. It looks like Rayburn. There's a 2-0 change. Off-speed pitch. You have the rookie on deck. Santiago, he's been moving it in and out nicely. He's not afraid to go inside. He'll cut it in there to the right-handers. Change-ups away.
Rayburn line drive, base hit in the left field. Coming around third, Lindor's going to try to score. Murphy's throw is going to be cut off, and the Indians will take the lead on a 2-out RBI single by the veteran Ryan Rayburn, who hadn't started since July 26th. Andre said he was antsy, and now he delivers in the clutch.
A little surprised that he threw a breaking ball. He left it out over the middle of the plate, and it was upstairs, so Rayburn takes advantage of it. This is going to be our McDonald's I'm loving it. A 2-out base hit for the Indians to score, take the lead 1-0 for Rayburn, his 23rd RBI.
And now Giovanni Urshela with Rayburn at first. And that pitch upstairs, ball 1. Almost half of Ryan Rayburn's RBIs this year have come with 2 outs. 11 of his 23 of the 2-out variety. It's kind of what we talked about with Giovanni Urshela at the top of our telecast. Being able to come up with those hits and RBIs with the game on the line late.
Close and late, that's right. 2-out base hits worth their weight in gold, especially off this guy who's very good with runners in scoring position.
Last night, Urshela's home run made him the 4th player in Indians history to homer in the 12th inning or later of a scoreless game. Again, that's what goes back to what I said. It's pretty rare that you get a scoreless game into the 12th inning.
Right.
How about Jake doing it in 1991? 2-2 pitch. Kind of caught him in between. Strikes him out to end the inning. But Ryan Rayburn delivering for Cleveland here in the 4th. A 2-out RBI knock. Indians lead it 1-0. Tag STO Data Strong fan for a chance to have one of your pictures shown in an upcoming telecast. It's all courtesy of T-Mobile. Danny Salazar has been handed a 1-0 lead now. And in the bottom of the 4th, he's got the meat of the order. Cole Calhoun, Mike Trout, and Albert Pujols. Inside corner, a strike. Drive, deep center field. Cole Calhoun has just tied the game. His 15th home run of the year. 1-1 here in the 4th. That baby was a no doubt about it shot.
Yeah, he spanked that one. It's going to be his 15th homer. Let's look at the pitch. That is a fastball, I think, right out over the plate, and he right down too a little bit, mid-thigh. Got up on the turf up there. And boy, it doesn't take long. They come right back and respond to that run. It's a 16th home run.
Now Mike Trout called out on strikes his first time up. Player profile brought to you by Levin Furniture. Trout out of New Jersey has been sensational, simply put. Swing and a miss.
Tried to go back to back with him. For Salazar, this is his 20th start. 15 times out of those 20 starts, he's given up a home run. He didn't in his last start. He only gave up one hit. But I'll tell you, that's one of the few pitches he had down on the plate and gave him swinging room. The first hit.
Struck him out with a good breaking ball. 5th K for Salazar, 1 down here in the 4th.
Check the pitch again. That's, I mean, right down the middle. And you can see why. Good hitters, boy, when they get a pitch like this, it was their 2nd time through. He connected. Gave it a ride, the first hit, and also cost him that shutout. So the unfortunate thing is the Indians scored in that inning, and they have a quick response.
Just a bit high. Fouled right back. Albert Pujols staying alive. He doesn't want the walk. He wants to hit. Although you pointed out the other night, man, his numbers are amazing. How many walks he's had compared to strikeouts for a power home run hitter.
No doubt. No doubt. 250.
A scalding line drive head high to Aviles in left for out number 2. You think of home run hitters, power guys as free swingers, Reggie Jackson types that strike out
Jim
a lot.
Thome's, Reggie Jackson, Babe Ruth, all those guys, they go out, I mean, they're going to strike out a lot. But not this guy. This guy's different. That was a line drive, hit well. It's the old hang with him. Second time this inning, he's trying to get a feel for that curveball, and he's cut underneath it.
David Murphy is swinging a foul tip. Fly ball to center. Tyler Holt makes the catch, and the inning is over. But Cole Calhoun, with one swing of the bat, ties the game. And after 4, 1-1 our score in Anaheim. by the Cleveland Clinic. Call for an appointment today. And by the game-changing all-new Ford F-150. The future is tough. 1-1 our score as we roll on to the 5th inning here in Anaheim. Roberto Perez, Mike Aviles, Tyler Holt due for the Indians. Perez, who took 3 pitches right down the chute his first time up, swings and misses at the first offering.
He was waiting for that first fastball and got the changeup.
And the count quickly 0-2. Upstairs with it. Popped into the seats. Pop back again. This will find the seats. I don't know how many foul balls we've had already in this game today, Rick, but it's been a ton.
Yeah, a lot of foul balls is right.
High pop. Center field.
How many high fly balls have we seen already off the bats of the Indians?
Well, I was just about to say before that pitch to Perez, we'd had 3 infield pop-up outs. He has 5 strikeouts. And then we've got 4 fly ball outs to the outfield, and I don't think any of those were line drives.
They were all pop-ups, and even the Urshela, the shortstop, I remember he was going back and Trout let him take that one.
Yeah.
So they all been up in the air.
Mike Aviles takes up an away ball 1. Aviles with a cut and a miss. Well, Mike was on it, but it fouled straight back to the screen. The 2-2, swing and a miss. And that's a half dozen Ks for Santiago. 2 down here in the 5th. Our in-game recap brought to you by your Toyota dealers. It was a 2-out RBI single by Ryan Rayburn that got the Indians on the board first in the 4th. But in the bottom of the 4th, Cole Calhoun led off with a home run. And that is where we are, tied at 1. First ball swinging, Tyler Holt fouls one out of play. Right back at him, and Santiago picks it, flips it, hitting over. Drive goes in order, and we stay tied at 1. Jim Tressel and Terry Francona as the Positive Coaching Alliance presents Breakfast with the Coaches. Hear from the panel as they discuss the challenges of coaching, their influences and experiences that have made them so successful. Call 440-670-3580 for tickets and for more information. Eric Ibar leading things off here in the bottom of the 5th.
Again, the Angels with only one hit today in the ball game. That one left the park. Between yesterday's 12 innings and today's 4, so 16 innings, they have 3 hits.
Well, he's run the count full, 3-2. Jammed him, and he rolls it to second. 1 away. The injury report brought to you by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk. Matt Joyce is getting closer to coming off the DL, and as we said before, that's going to create a decision that will have to be made with regards to the outfield and the 25-man roster. C.J. Wilson, it would appear that he's done for the year. Connor Gillespie flied to center, his only time up.
Terry Francona has seen some incredible starting pitching. Santana with a flip. 2 down. Time for a Mazda game break. Here's Al Pulaski. All right, thanks, Al. C.J. Cron, who walked in the 3rd, takes a strike. Beautiful pitch right at the bottom of the zone. Wow. I guess that was off by maybe the width of a ball.
Well, there's been a couple awfully close today. Take a look at it. A peek. Outside. It started to come back. Really close.
That one is outside.
You certainly want it if you're a pitcher, that's for sure.
Down in the dirt. Just over our heads up into the upper deck. Now the payoff. Check towards 3rd, but foul.
Again, more foul balls. There have been a ton of them today by both sides.
And he ends up walking him. Second time today, C.J. Cron has drawn a free pass. He's the only guy to reach base other than Calhoun, who homered.
Yeah, both walks coming to Cron. So that gives Iannetta a chance now with 2 outs, man on first.
Got a play. Chris Iannetta struck out his only time up, but in that at bat, he swung and missed at a pitch. Had the trainer and the manager come out and take a look at him, and then Salazar buried him with 2 quick strikes after that. Now the 1-1. Up and away.
Starting to get the ball up a little bit, the last 2 hitters. He threw that really good pitch, 2 strikes that wasn't called to Cron. And then after that, everything started to get elevated a little bit.
High pop.
Good luck with this one.
Urshela called off by Lindor. And he makes the play. The inning is over. 5 complete. In Anaheim, California, it's the Indians 1 and the Angels 1. Time now to take a look at our T-Mobile Data Strong Fan of the Game. And you can get on board by tweeting your strongest fan photo to the hashtag STO Data Strong Fan for a chance to have one of your photos shown during our telecast. It's all courtesy of T-Mobile. Hector Santiago begins the 6th inning with 77 pitches under his belt. And Jose Ramirez, the leadoff man, walked in the first, fly to left to end the 3rd inning. Fly ball hit the deep left field. Murphy's back, sprinting back on the track at the wall, and it's gone. Jose Ramirez with his 2nd home run of the season. Not a guy you generally expect to put a charge into one, but Rick, when you saw Murphy turn his back to home plate, you knew he got into it.
Boy, it was a line drive. That ball jumped. It looked like a little breaking ball down and in. It was. Boy, he golfed it. He went down and hit it. And that was like a nice little 7-iron and lined out of here. It kept carrying. There goes Murphy. He's going back, and it just gets over, bounces in, and the Indians retake the lead with a solo home run of their own. But you're right, not by a guy you would expect to hit it.
Been almost 4 months since his last home run. Came in early April down in Houston. So that was a big one. It puts the Indians back on top. Now popped back out of play. And Lindor sends a high pop.
I don't know if Trout sees it.
He's got it. 1 away. Our AT&T U-verse rewind. Francisco Lindor's first 2 times up, he blooped a single into right field. And then he shot one by the bag at first and hustled into second base for a double and would score on the 2-out single by Ryan Rayburn. Jerry Sands is 0 for 2, has struck out twice. in the series. Jerry has done a lot of that.
Well, that's the third time he's gone down today, and it's the 7th strikeout for Santiago.
2 down here in the 6th. Carlos Santana 0 for 2. Santana came into today with a .281 batting average over his previous 25 games. You're kind of hoping to see him build off what was his best month of the season. Swung the bat very well in July.
Comes back. Santiago has walked 1. That was the leadoff hitter of the game, Ramirez. Other than that, he had Santana before, down in the count 3-1. Or Santana had him, I should say. And he couldn't do anything with it. Comes in there, 3-1.
Just foul at the third base side.
Have to get a new piece of lumber.
Well, after the Indians Live today, Bruce Drennan will bring you the latest news and highlights from Browns camp in Berea and talk about today's game on Drennan Live. It's coming up after we wrap things up here on the West Coast. And then it's back home to Cleveland to open a 6-game homestand against the Twins and the New York Yankees. First look of the year at the Bronx Bombers. Line smash caught at third by Gillespie. Oh, did he just rob Santana? A terrific play at the hot corner by the Angels' third baseman. But Jose Ramirez hits a home run to put the Indians on top, 2-1. Bottom of the 6th here in Anaheim. Indians lead it 2-1. Top of the order for the Halos. Johnny Giavitello to lead things off.
And they give Salazar another lead by 1. See if he can shut down this inning.
Right back up the middle, and the Angels leadoff man is aboard. It's only the 2nd hit today for the Angels.
Well, there's the play that ended the inning. Gillespie, a beautiful diving catch, taking a hit away from Santana. It's just reaction is what it is. Line drive. He just starts diving, didn't even take a step, goes right into the glove.
Cole Calhoun, he clobbered a home run that tied the game back in the 4th inning. This guy has had some good numbers over the years against the Indians.
Well, he doesn't get cheated up there, boy. He's looking for a fastball. That's the pitch he hit out of the ballpark his last time up. He gets it inside. And boy, Danny, you better locate it if you're going to throw him the fastball. Don't make it on the plate. He was very susceptible to that breaking ball down and in last night. A lot of swings and misses down there.
Now 1-1.
There you go. You watch now. Here's the fastball that he gets in his last at bat and just smoked it. That tied the game up. That was the leadoff hitter after the Indians gave him a lead. Now that foul ball that he hit was a fastball, and he turned on. But you can see he comes back with that breaking ball and gets him to swing and miss. Try that pitch again.
Salazar nearing the end of the line as his pitch count climbs towards 100. Action in the bullpen. Strike 3 called. Calhoun is the 6th strikeout victim of the day for Danny Salazar. 1 away.
There was a low tracer here, 96. Look at that fastball. I mean, right there. It was on him before he knew what it was. He was not looking for that pitch. He figured he's not going to throw me another fastball, and then he throws it right by you. So that's out number 1.
Some people look at that and say, how can you take a pitch right down the middle? Well, as you said, sometimes it's on you before you can react.
That one was down at the knees. That was a low tracer, boy. Tough to pick up, and by the time you want to swing, it's gone. It's by you. He had his one pitch to hit in that at bat, and he fouled it, down the line. Hit it hard, but fouled it.
Mike Trout has struck out twice tonight.
Sometimes, as a hitter, you may not get a pitch in an at bat to hit, but if you get one, you got to try and take advantage of it. Catchers testing out their arms today.
Double barrel action in the Cleveland pen. Mike Trout just 1 for 9 in the series. To center. Tyler Holt makes the play on that for out number 2. Gonna bring up Albert Pujols.
See that 3rd inning, 5th inning, and a lot of those innings, which you were talking about, are the foul balls that they were hitting off him, and that could take an inning away from you when you extend it out. Because he's only in the 6th, he's over the 100 pitch mark.
Just missed for ball 1. Pujols struck out in the 2nd. He lined out to left in the 4th inning. Base hit left field over near the line. Aviles cuts it off. On his way to 3rd goes Giavotella. And Pujols holds with a 2-out single. Angels at the corners with 2 down, and the left-handed hitting David Murphy due up.
Well, he cut down on that swing a little bit. He didn't really get after it. Hit a nice line drive, beat the shift. They had 3 guys over on the left side of the infield. Gets it down in the corner because Aviles was playing him deep. Although Giavotella able to go to 3rd base, so it's 1st and 3rd now with 2 outs. And David Murphy will be the hitter.
Terry had Crockett, the left-hander, up in the bullpen. McAllister, the right-hander, up. He's going to stay with Salazar. And Murphy takes a strike. Murphy struck out on the 2nd. He flied to center in the 4th. Oh, nice change of pace. And it's quickly 0-2.
Well, this one disappears. The bottom falls out. And Murphy sees that ball low. He likes it down there. By the time he got ready to swing, that ball disappeared and it was down in the dirt.
And a foul back. Pujols was moving.
Yeah, 0-2 count, figuring. He fouled it off. This is a great way to do it, though. If he takes off, it's like a free out. Just got to keep your eye at the guy, Giavotella, on 3rd. So they're going to talk about it now. Don't think he'll start him again, though. That was
it's kind of like that to me is a perfect element of surprise. You're not expecting Pujols to run, so you're not going to pitch out.
Right. Well, and also what you can do to combat that is just throw a high fastball up and away. Not really a pitch out. Maybe you can get a swing with it.
Swung on and missed, blew it right by him. So Danny Salazar finishes strong, his 7th strikeout of the afternoon. And once again, the Angels go down hacking 2-1 Cleveland.
Visit mykiacleveland.com to learn more. By Levin Mattress, located in all Levin furniture and freestanding locations. And by AT&T Uverse, has more channels on the go than cable.
That's the SS John Reynolds, docked nearby here in Anaheim.
Well, looks like Salazar's day will be over. And it was a good one at that.
Ryan Rayburn knocked in the first run of the afternoon with a 2-out RBI single in the fourth. Couldn't wait to get back in the lineup. He's made the most of it to this point. It's an Indians lineup today that is not only missing Jason Kipnis, who's on the DL, but also minus Michael Brantley, who's getting a day off, Michael Bourne, and Yan Gomes. A lot of that due to the fact that it's the end of a long West Coast trip. Last night was a 12-inning game. So Terry picking this spot to give some of those guys a rest with an off day tomorrow at home. High pop. This might be playable. Crone near the Tribe dugout on deck circle, couldn't get there. And there again the sun comes into play. He just never saw it.
No, it's miserable. You look up there, Andre. What's it like down there? Can you look up in the sun? How bad is it? Not too good, huh?
Feels good. I think I'm going to change color by the time we get on that plane.
I'll tell you look up. It's tough to see how these guys are losing it up there.
And there's no clouds around.
I know.
Anywhere near.
It's hard to understand when you look up into that sky and you can't see anything. And you know a ball is hit and it's coming your way.
That's smashed deep right center field, and it is gone. Ryan Rayburn with an opposite field solo laser to the bleachers. Indians now lead it 3-1. Oh, welcome back to the lineup, number 9.
That's his 5th dinger of the year in the 2nd straight inning that the Indians are able to hit a solo home run and put one on the board. And that's going to do it for Santiago. Boy, that was a nice swing by Rayburn. He got a fastball. It looked like it was middle of the plate. You could see Iannetta didn't move from his crouch. Put his head down and knew that ball was hammered.
Santiago gets the code red as Mike Scioscia makes the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen here. Corey Rasmus coming on for the Angels, and the Indians now lead it 3-1. 3-1, the Indians lead it. And the new pitcher is right-hander Corey Rasmus, 6 feet, 200 pounds. 27-year-old. A couple of years ago, he came in a trade from Atlanta in exchange for Scott Downs.
The veteran left-hander.
Yeah.
And it played everywhere.
He's the younger brother of Colby Rasmus, who's with the Astros. He has a younger brother yet who's with the Cardinals.
Well, season tickets offer the best perks, including savings and access to Tribe Rewards. And today's Tribe Rewards TV code is BELL. You can visit Indians.com season tickets for your complete details.
Roberto Perez 0 for 2, takes a look at the ball outside.
I wonder if they're going to get a chance to face each other. Rasmus versus Rasmus, and have a little Thanksgiving dinner and see who gets bragging rights.
Outside, 3-0. Now we talked about these two teams. Well, those two teams, the Angels and Astros, will meet 6 times in September. So there might be an opportunity. It's ball 4, and Roberto Perez is aboard with a walk with 1 out. MLS Soccer Sunday continues this week with the New York Derby as the Red Bulls take on the New York City FC at 7 Eastern on Fox Sports 1. It's sponsored by Audi. Down on the dirt. I know some guys on our television crew that can play for the Red Bulls.
Why do they like Red Bull?
They enjoy the Red Bull. The 1-0 pitch. Runner goes, and Aviles pops it up. Again, a tough play with the sun. Ibar over into foul ground, and he's not called off. Gillespie ends up making the catch.
Well, he had to really stay with it.
2 down.
Well, Holt coming back into the dugout. It's going to be Michael Bourne given an opportunity.
Gillespie using the flip downs to make the play. And now the Indians go to a pinch hitter as Michael Bourne will bat for Tyler Holt with 2 down and a runner at first here in the 7th inning, and the Indians leading it by a score of 3-1. Bourne as a pinch hitter this year, just 1 for 7. But he has been on a pretty good roll of late. 6 hits and 19 at-bats on the road trip. And since the All-Star break, Bourne batting .367. And a strike call by home plate umpire Pat Hoberg. Here's 2-1. Little squib job towards short. And Ibar throws Bourne out at first to end the inning. But the Indians with their second solo homer of the day. This one from Ryan Rayburn. He's driven in 2 of the 3 as the Indians take their lead into the 7th inning stretch. Brought to you by Spitzer Auto World. Stay tuned for Indians Live, presented by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care, coming up next. Following the ball game, right now the Indians lead at 3-1. And it will be up to the bullpen to hold it the rest of the way. Danny Salazar went 6, allowed 1 run on 3 hits, walked 2, struck out 7. Kyle Crockett will be the first man into the fray, making his 11th appearance of the year. And the Indians have double barrel action now in the pen behind him. Michael Bourne stays in the game. After pinch hitting for Holt, he stays in center field. Strike to the outside corner. Eric Ibar, 0 for 2, has grounded out twice today. And it's just 1 out of 10, as you see there in the series. Pop foul, out of play to the right.
Much you could say about the Angels hitters in this series. They've been controlled pretty much. That first night they had 2 innings. That 5th inning where they scored a pair and 3 hits, and they had 5 hits in the 6th inning when they took that lead, and it was the Gillespie home run that did the damage.
Weekly chop towards second base, and Ramirez goes out Ibar one way.
Well, pregame with $2 domestic beers in the right field district on 2 more Fridays will take place this year. Fans can get 12-ounce cans for $2 from 5 to 7. It'll be this Friday against the Twins, and August 28th against the Angels. Get your tickets at Indians.com.
Every team goes through their ups and downs during the season when it comes to offense, swinging the bats. I think for the Angels, you just wonder, Rick, I mean, how long can they continue to convince themselves that it's just a matter of they're facing really good pitching? I mean, at some point you have to say it doesn't matter who's out there.
Well,
have to score.
That's true. I mean, when you're talking playoffs or you're thinking about, wild card or whatever it may be, winning the division, you're going to have to face good pitching. And you're going to need more help than just Trout and Pujols. The extra pieces are going to have to throw in as well, because it's not every day that, I don't care how good you are, you're not going to hit in every game.
Ball to first. Santana says, I'll take it myself. 2 down. Terry Francona looks like he's going to make a move here. The right-handed hitting C.J. Cron coming up. He's going to go to right-hander Zach McAllister. We've got a timeout in Anaheim. The Indians on top, 3-1. Danny Salazar, the starter today. He went about it maybe in a little different manner than Carlos Carrasco did last night, but he was just as effective overall. Well,
yeah, you see a lot of off-speed pitches early, and then it was becoming fastballs later. Getting to chase a few pitches, that's an unhittable pitch if you're a hitter and you happen to swing at that ball. He had 7 strikeouts, only the 2 walks. So Salazar comes back, and boy, these two guys have matched each other. He went 8 innings and 1 hit in his last start, and he went out 6 innings today. Allowed only 1 run. So another good start.
The Indians have just flat out shut down the Angels offense. In the last 20 innings that they have pitched against the Angels, they've given up 1 run on 5 hits, 17 strikeouts, 3 walks.
There you go. Tough to win anything when you don't give up anything. Dominating.
Now the 2-strike offering. A 1-2 pitch. Reached and spoiled it. McAllister worked a scoreless inning last night, giving up just 1 hit. Popped him up on the infield. Santana, Ramirez. Santana takes it. Inning over. 7 complete. And the Indians maintain their stranglehold on a 3-1 lead.
of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians.
Jose Ramirez to lead off here in the 8th inning. Last time up, he did what you don't normally expect him to do. He hit one out of here. His second home run of the year, first one since April.
He picked up a low breaking ball and golfed it into the bullpen. He broke up a 1-1 tie.
Like he was chipping down at Riviera,
Wow.
Q's Club.
Watch where this pitch is. Breaking ball going down and in. Boy, it hit it, and he was off and running, and it carries into the bullpen. Murphy had no chance. You see him turn around. He was hoping it hit the wall. Ramirez has been a walk machine in this series, hasn't he?
5 already, Rick, and maybe on the verge of number 6 right here.
Well, he started every game off. There it is, 6th walk. He started every game off this series there with the walk. So now you would expect, okay, you've got a 2-run lead. Now you can be aggressive. Go out there and let him try and steal a base. Let's check out the move here by Rasmus.
Here's where you'd like to see Lindor maybe just
take one,
fake a bunt, and keep the bat out in front, try to keep the catcher back as long as you can.
Right.
Because he's swinging the bat well. I don't want to see him necessarily sacrifice
No,
here.
there's no need. You have a lead. You got to try and put him away. Let's see what he has to offer here.
He bunts it. Lindor is retired on the sacrifice, 3-4. Well, as we promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. On this date, back in 01, the Indians came from way back to beat the Seattle Mariners. One of the most incredible comeback wins in franchise baseball history.
Yeah, that was a Sunday night ball game. Don't know if you'll ever see another one like it.
Lonnie Chisnall is going to pinch hit for Jerry Sands. And a pitch inside, ball 1. Back out of play. Ramirez bolts for third, and Chisenhall fouls it back.
Well, he was trying to time him out there, and I don't know if that would have been a good enough jump with an open pathway to third. He had plenty of time, but Chiz fouls it off.
Now a pop up on the infield. Third baseman Gillespie has it. 2 down. Bring up Carlos Santana, 0 for 3 on the day. Last time up, Carlos was robbed of a hit. He smoked a line drive at Connor Gillespie at third base. He was able to snare it before it shot into left field.
They're going to put him on intentionally. They want to go and face Rayburn.
He's driven in 2 of the Indians' 3 runs today. Angels have a left-hander in the bullpen. Mike Scioscia had a feeling that we'd see Michael Brantley pinch hit for Ryan Rayburn. And as Brantley emerges from the Indians' dugout, you can rest assured he'll probably go to the left-hander Ramos to face Brantley. There's ball 4. Santana takes his base. So 2 on with 2 out. Brantley is announced as the pinch hitter.
We'll see Scioscia come out, I'm sure.
You would think.
He may stall a little bit. He was just announced. Did you say he just got up?
I thought Ramos had been up long enough to get ready. Maybe not. It looks like he's going to stay with Rasmus. Now Iannetta is going to take that slow walk.
Hold on a second. This is, he's going to give him a couple extra pitches. Go to the phone, see if he's ready to go.
4 corners offense in effect.
It's like a 20-second timeout. Here comes the umpire, and by the time he starts walking back, I'm sure we'll see Scioscia come out of that dugout.
Here he comes. So it's just a matter of a couple of pitches, I suppose. Scioscia takes the slow walk. Still hasn't made a signal yet, but you know that's going to be the case. This is all about giving Ramos some time now. There goes the call to the bullpen. So timeout with 2 on and 2 out in the 8th, and we'll be right back. We're in the 8th inning with 2 on and 2 out. And before we tell you about the new pitcher, our Pat O'Brien Chevrolet play of the game, Ryan Rayburn getting his first start since before the Indians left on this road trip. 2-out RBI single got him on the board first in the 4th, and then his big home run in the 7th helped pad the lead.
Yeah, good afternoon for Ryan. So what are we going to do? Let's pinch hit for him. He's had a good afternoon, but it's going to be Michael Brantley that's going to get an opportunity with 2 guys on and 2 out here in the 8th. Facing Cesar Ramos, 42nd appearance. pitched in one of the games here in this series.
Didn't get it out first time he pitched against the Indians. Gave up a hit. Or was it a walk?
I think it was a hit to Brantley, I think.
Yep, it was. It was an infield single. Up high, ball one. Ground ball to second. That'll win the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. 3-1 Cleveland.
Well, baseball's playoff race is starting to get into high gear, and Saturday we've got a doubleheader starting with the Dodgers and Pirates in a key game for both teams. And at 7 p.m., the NL Central leading Cardinals play the Brewers in a game you can only see on Fox Sports 1. Coverage will begin at 3:30 on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Brian Shaw coming on now for the 8th inning. McAllister went a third, so they'll turn it over to Brian. He's going to have to come on, and it'll be 9-1-2 in the lineup for the Angels. Iannetta, Giavotella, Calhoun.
Iannetta 0 for 2 as Lonnie Chisenhall, you see, is now in right field. Low and away, 1-1. Boy, was that a wicked off-speed pitch.
Nice breaking ball, that's right. 81 miles per hour. Had Iannetta way out front.
Must have looked like it was coming in slow motion from his.
The two times that he played in this series. They've done a great job of throwing him that slider away.
And the 2-2. Just missed outside, full count. After Iannetta, it's the top of the order. The 3-2 to right field. And Lonnie Chisenhall barely had to move, one away. Let's go back down to Andre, who has more on Lonnie Chisenhall and his adjusting to right field.
Yeah, the adjustment is still exactly that. You know, you asked me a couple days ago, Rick, to ask him about talking and who he deals with in between pitches and things like that. He said at third base, he could hear the ball come off the bat. He got a good feel and a good rhythm for it. He goes out in right field. He goes, he has no feel for it. He says in Oakland, they were yelling things he couldn't repeat to anybody. And he says, so he's still trying to figure out who to talk to, what to listen to. But the ball off the bat is still a difficult thing for him in right field. It's going to be tough today with this guy as well.
Yeah, it's going to be an adjustment for him, moving from the infield where you're in on the action to the outfield where you got to kill a lot of time, and your mind can wander out there. You got to find ways to stay into the game. And you really got to concentrate on listening to the ball off the bat.
Well, the problem with that, and you've mentioned before that outfielders sometimes get fooled by a big swing and the guy hits it off the end of the bat. Sometimes you're in the outfield, you're far enough away that you don't hear the initial crack. You sort of hear it about a half a second later.
Well, you're going to find out when you do hear the crack, it's a well hit ball, and you know it's going to get there. When you don't hear it, that's when you know it's going to be in front of you. And some parks could be different than other ones. I haven't been in the newer parks here and played the outfield there, but it could be different. You should be able to hear it though.
Now the 2-1. Well, that's too what also makes the games where if you get into a situation where you have a lot of wind, it's difficult to hear, difficult to communicate. And you don't know what the wind's going to do to the ball once it's in flight.
That's tough playing in windy conditions. I agree with you.
3-1 is a bullseye, full count. Cody Allen is up in the Indians bullpen. I'm not sure if Terry Francona's thinking about a multi-inning save or if Cody's just getting loose a little earlier than normal.
I'm thinking he'll go with more than a 3-out save with an off day tomorrow.
Right at the third baseman. There's Shella. Perfect throw, 2 down. My guess is, Rick, that he's up in case Trout gets to the plate here in this inning.
Yes, I would agree with that. So this is the key hitter, the swing hitter right here.
And with 2 down, Cole Calhoun 1 for 3 on the day. His home run back in the 4th tied the game at that time. He has hit 15 homers on the year. Strike call, it's 0-2.
Back-to-back breaking balls by Shaw. And he's not looking for that pitch. He's looking for something straight that he can swing at. May not get it.
Shaw's 2-strike pitch. And a swing and a miss. He blew it right by him. 93-mile-an-hour fastball from Brian Shaw. It's a 1-2-3 8th inning. And the Indians take a 3-1 lead to the ninth. Cam Bedrosian will come on to pitch here in the top of the ninth for the Angels. Bedrosian pitched in last night's ball game and he gave up the home run that Giovanni Urshela hit to win the game.
He's going to get a chance to face him again. That'll be his first hitter. He hung him a breaking ball, so let's see what happens today. I think if he throws one, he may try and bounce it this time.
Goes at him with a fastball down and away for strike one. Our little speed guy on the bottom corner said 84. The one up on the scoreboard said 139.
I believe the scoreboard.
Urshela with a comebacker to the mound. That might be the hardest pitch ever thrown in the history of baseball.
Yeah, right.
So one away now for Roberto Perez. Roberto 0 for 2 with a walk. Perez chops one towards short, cut off by Ibar. And a good feed across, 2 down.
There's only been 8 hits in this ball game. 5 by the Indians, 3 by the Angels. 3 out of the 5 for the Indians. Extra base hits, the 2 solo home runs, and a Lindor double, which paid dividends in the 4th when he led that inning off, and it was a 2-out RBI single by Rayburn to get him on the board first. They've been able to add on, and the pitching continues to just be dominant against the Angels.
I mean, you could say the pitching's been great the whole road trip.
Yes, it has.
They had some outstanding starts in Oakland. The offense has been what it has been.
Well, they'll have an off day. Yeah, for the Indians it has. The Angels are going to have to regroup after an off day when they thought they had it turned around after they come out and they get a big win against Corey Kluber, thinking, all right, like you said earlier, feeling pretty good about yourselves until the last 2 days where they have been totally shut down.
And now it's Cody Allen's turn to try and shut down the Angels for the second game in a row. Indians will try to close out the win when we come back. Back at our keys to the game, brought to you by Wayside Furniture. A win gives the Indians a winning road trip. Danny Salazar was terrific. He gave up just one run. It came on a solo homer by Cole Calhoun in the fourth inning. And now it's up to Cody Allen. He's got the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, and David Murphy due up. Allen looking for his 23rd save of the year and his second in as many nights against the Angels. They worked a 1-2-3 in the 12th last night with a couple of strikeouts.
Yeah, he had a good curveball working last night to go with his fastball. We'll see if he has the same stuff today.
Mike Trout will lead it off. He is 1 for 10 in the series. He struck out twice here today.
Done a great job against Trout in this series. That one base there was a little ground ball up the middle. He did hit the ball hard a couple of times, but right into the tracks of a couple of outfielders for the Indians.
Bullseye, fastball for strike one.
As always, that first man so important in the ninth inning.
By him, it's 1-2. Major league hitters will tell you these days that there is just no let up. You go from Danny Salazar throwing 97 to the back end of the bullpen where Cody Allen's throwing 96. Up and in. Brian Shaw hit 95. McAllister's mid-90s.
Yeah, if you're coming in late into a ball game out of a bullpen, if you're not a specialist like a sidearm or a junk ball, you're throwing mid-90s, no doubt.
Now the 2-2. And Trout fouls it right side out of play. Albert Pujols waits on deck. The 2-2 offering is swung on and missed. He chased one in the dirt. And Cody Allen has a huge first out here in the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah, he got him to chase the curveball. And, you know, he backed him off. And once he got ahead with the fastball, let's look at the sequence. Fastball, let's go. Get ahead, strike one. Curveball, he didn't bite at. And then he throws a fastball by him. Then, let's go. Move him back a little bit. Another fastball in, comes back, breaking ball down and away, got him to chase. Very good sequence by Allen.
Albert Pujols, a single his last time up. Oh, big breaking ball. You can see he was not expecting that first pitch.
That was a buckler right there.
Another one, it's 0-2. Stay with it?
Well, yeah, you could. You can go up, elevate the fastball, or come back with it. Came back with it, and he was ready. See, he was just going to put it in play. That's why he's such a good hitter. That's why he doesn't strike out. He has 250 more walks and strikeouts right there, because Cody came back. He maybe could have went upstairs with a fastball, because that's off the plate. It was up a little bit, but he did a great job of just getting the barrel of the bat to the baseball. He gave in. Let me take my base hit the other way, and he got it. So now you can bring the tying run to the plate. Good job of hit by Pujols.
And David Murphy 0 for 3 is the batter. Swing a foul right back. Up and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. To left field, and Michael Vilas drifts back a few strides, makes the catch, 2 down. And that will bring up Eric Ibar with 2 down in the bottom of the ninth. Indians leading 3-1. Ibar is 1 for 11 in the series. Today, all 3 times he has grounded out to second base. Quick strike. Last year, the Indians were swept here in Anaheim. 2 years ago, they swept the Angels here in Southern California. That's the only other time in the last 10 years the Indians have won the season series here in Anaheim. Bounced in front of the plate. good block by Perez.
Well, you win the series here, you go home with a winning road trip.
I say season series here in Anaheim because there have been a couple of times where they've played twice. They've had two series here. They went 3-3 in 2010. They went 2-4 in 2011. But other than 2 years ago, they haven't won a season series in Anaheim against this club in the last 10 years. So this would be something rare for the Tribe to get this done. 2-1 pitch. Bounced in front of the plate. Perez finds it, but it's too late. And Pujols goes into second base on the wild pitch.
Second straight that Allen has spiked into the dirt out in front. This one ricocheted much farther away. Let's see what it hits. It stayed down. I think it got the umpire's shin guard and took off. Yeah, because that ball got away from Perez underneath him. Enabled Pujols to get into second base.
Well, 3-1 count for Ibar with Connor Gillespie waiting on deck. Ball 4. A 2-out walk keeps the inning alive now. And Gillespie, who is 0 for 3 on the afternoon, will be the batter. Gillespie's just 1 out of 11 in the series, but his one hit was a home run off Corey Kluber. So this guy, who has had success against the Indians in a number of different ways, whether it's with a base hit, whether it's with the home run. Ibar, who runs very well, is the tying run at first base.
Monday, Kluber was a cutter, stayed middle of the plate, did not cut, and that put the Angels ahead 4-3 in the ball game.
Outside 2-0, and Roberto Perez will go out to the mound.
Well, he lost after those couple balls that were in the dirt. He couldn't come back and throw Ibar a strike, and he missed on the first two here.
Cody Allen in a little bit of a jam, albeit with 2 outs. There are 2 on for the Angels. Indians trying to get to the 50-win mark. Cody checks Pujols at second base. And the 2-0 misses. Indians bullpen looks like it's about to scramble into action here. Because as you pointed out, Cody has just simply lost it. The 3-0 finds the zone.
You know, he is. He lost it for about 5 or 6 pitches, but if Gillespie's up there, you don't give him anything middle in. He can turn on. You got to go your best stuff. Give him a fastball away. Make him beat you to left field. He's not going to drive one out to left.
Two on, 2 out, and the 3-1 pitch to Gillespie. He fouls it back, and the bat ends up against the screen.
Almost stuck in the netting. Should be coming back into your house at somewhere. That ball, the bat just flew out of his hand on that swing. For whatever reason, he doesn't wear gloves, but he went back and got a little more stickum or some pine tar or some rosin. And he'll come back now. The runners with a head start. So remember, that outfield's got to cut anything off. You've got good speed at first base, which is the tying run. Should he get a base hit, and it's going anywhere in the gap, you have got to get to it, get it in quickly to that cutoff man. Well, he'll get a good jump at first.
There's the set. Payoff pitch. Ball 4, and they're loaded. C.J. Cron will be the batter. He has walked twice and popped up. Mickey Callaway makes his way to the mound. The Indians have action in the bullpen, but...
well, they're not going to see him until Cody Allen either gets that third out or gives it up. Got a pinch runner now for Gillespie at first base.
Tyler Featherston. That now represents the potential winning run for the Angels.
Allen going back to the full windup now.
And a foul on a check swing by C.J. Cron.
Well, that's a nice one to get because that would have been a ball. That was going up and in. He was just trying to check his swing, and it hits the bat. That right there is a good piece of luck because now it puts Cody Allen in front of the count and gives him a little confidence.
Cron with a liner to center. Bourne plays it out of bounds. And the Angels have tied the game. The winning run is now at third.
Well, let's see. It looked like another fastball. He stayed on. That one stayed right down the middle. So he finally got ahead 0-1, and then he comes back and he grooved a fastball. And Cron stayed on the baseball, hit it to right center field. A clutch hit there. The 2 walks hurt Allen, and they have tied it up here in the 9th with 2 outs and given him life. DeJesus is going to be the hitter now for Iannetta.
Cody Allen comes set. He fires, and it's low, ball 1. The Indians led it 3-1 going into the bottom of the 9th. But the normally razor-sharp Cody Allen with some wildness, walking a pair to load him up. And then the base hit by Cron scores 2 to tie it. Will we have extra innings for the second day in a row?
Well, Cody, you remember in that one at-bat where he spiked a couple of those curveballs out front. I don't know if he's afraid to throw it here because of a man on third base. But they are sitting on 1 pitch, and 1 pitch only. He's having a tough time commanding his fastball. There it is. That's what he needed to do.
Down to second base goes Cron, but that's not the run that matters. It's the runner at third that carries the mail right now for the Angels.
It's the out at home plate if they want to send it into extra innings for the second consecutive day. That's what they need.
Well, with 2 down, you just need the batter.
Right.
The 1-2 pitch. Gets away. Here comes the runner. Perez can't find the handle, and the Angels win it.